Tips for adjusting to the end of daylight saving time. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. Right. So I know it is still Thursday, and I usually upload my video on Friday, but I'm uploading this video one day earlier because Friday is a public holiday in Japan. It's a cultural day, and we have the long weekend. Plus, you have more days to prepare for this coming change. On November 5th, the daylight saving time will end, right? And you'll get back to the standard time. So, I've been talking about circadian rhythm and circannual rhythm. So, how does this daylight saving time affect your circadian and circannual rhythm? And what can you do to prepare for the change? Because it affects a lot, especially on November 5th. Yeah. So you want to know what you can do. So this video is going to be very beneficial for you. So please watch the video until the end. Thank you. All right. So in the last video, I shared with you circadian rhythm versus circannual rhythm for health and longevity. Yeah, both are critical for your health and longevity, and you want to live according to those rhythms. Yeah, so living with seasons. Yeah, right. So, now how does a daylight saving time affect these rhythms? Yeah. So I asked this question to the same AI. Yeah. Now that is, so in some countries like the US, there are winter time and summertime to change the clock, while other countries like Japan don't have this system and use the same clock throughout the year. Is there any effect on it from a circadian rhythm point of view? And the answer is yes. Daylight saving time can have an effect on circadian rhythm. This is because DST disrupts the body's natural light-dark cycle, which can lead to a number of health problems, including sleep disturbances, mood swings, and cardiovascular problems. For example, when we switch to DST in the spring, we lose an hour of sleep. This can disrupt our circadian rhythm and make it difficult to fall asleep and wake up at the same time each day. This can lead to sleep deprivation, which can have a number of negative consequences for our health, including fatigue, difficulty concentrating, and irritability. DST can also have a negative impact on our mood. Studies have shown that people are more likely to experience depression and anxiety during the spring and fall when we switch to and from DST. This is likely because the disruption to our circadian rhythm can interfere with the production of hormones that regulate mood. In addition, DST can also increase our risk of cardiovascular problems. Studies have shown that there is an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes in the days following the spring and fall DST transitions. This is likely because the disruption to our circadian rhythm can increase stress levels and inflammation, both of which are risk factors for cardiovascular disease. Overall, daylight saving time can have a negative impact on our circadian rhythm and our overall health. It is important to be aware of the potential risk of DST and to take steps to protect your health, such as getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and exercising regularly. Countries like Japan that do not use DST do not experience these disruptions to their circadian rhythm. This is because their clocks remain the same throughout the year, so their bodies are able to stay in sync with the natural light-dark cycle. If you're concerned about the effects of DST on your health, you may want to consider advocating for the abolition of DST in your country. Now, this is interesting because the AI usually, doesn't say this kind of thing, it usually says, how you can medically, adjust yourself or protect and so on, but not like, advocate for abolition of the system and stuff like that. So I was really surprised to hear this conclusion. All right. So, is there anything people can do to protect their health? This is the question I asked because the system. I mean, changing the system is quite difficult. Yeah, you cannot do it overnight, and especially it is coming this Sunday, and it's too late to do that. So, what can you do? Yeah. So I asked this question to the AI too, and here are some tips. So stick to a regular sleep schedule as much as possible, even on weekends and during the time changes. This will help to keep your circadian rhythm on track. So this is something you can do generally. Yeah, not necessarily preparing for this weekend, but just everyday things. Yeah. And then expose yourself to bright light during the day, especially in the morning. This will help to suppress melatonin production and make you feel more alert. Avoid bright light exposure in the evening, especially in the hours leading to bedtime. This will help to promote melatonin production and make it easier to fall asleep. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. This could include taking a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed. Both of these substances can interfere with sleep. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. This will create an ideal environment for sleep. Right. So basically, it is good for you to live according to the circadian rhythm and circannual rhythm. So practice the kind of protocol I shared with you in the last video, yeah, daily. That can help, yeah, help you adjust to this change, yeah. And here are some additional tips that may be helpful. Eat a healthy diet and exercise regularly. These things can help to improve your overall health and well-being, which can make it easier to cope with the effects of daylight saving time. Be patient. It may take a few days or even weeks for your body to adjust to the time changes. If you're concerned about the negative impact of daylight saving time on your health, talk to your doctor. They can offer additional advice and support. Right. All right. So DST will end this coming Sunday, November 5th, and the clock will be back to standard time. Are there any particular tips for people to adjust themselves to change and help them remain aligned with circadian rhythm as much as possible in the next few days before the 5th and a few days after the 5th? So this is the next question I asked to the AI, and here is the answer. Before November 5th, start going to bed and waking up 15 to 20 minutes earlier each day. This will help your body to gradually adjust to the change in time. Expose yourself to bright light during the day, especially in the morning. This will help to suppress melatonin production and make you feel more alert. Avoid bright light exposure in the evening, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime. This will help to promote melatonin production and make it easier to fall asleep. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. This could include taking a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed. Both of these substances can interfere with sleep. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. This will create an ideal environment for sleep. So the same as your usual protocol, yeah? So practice the usual protocol, especially this time. So in some ways, it is a good opportunity for you to start doing that. if you have not been following this kind of protocol for, adjusting yourself to the circadian rhythm, this, weekend will be the perfect opportunity to practice it. And then you can continue doing it throughout the year so that you will have less effect from next year onward. And after November 5th, continue to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. This will help to solidify your new sleep schedule. Continue to expose yourself to bright light during the day, especially in the morning. This will help to regulate your circadian rhythm. Continue to avoid bright light exposure in the evening, especially in the hours leading up to bedtime. This will help to promote melatonin production and make it easier to fall asleep. Continue with your relaxing bedtime routine. Continue to avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed. And continue to make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. It may take a few days or even weeks for your body to fully adjust to the end of daylight saving time. Be patient and be consistent with your new step schedule and habits. Yeah. So bottom line is, practice that throughout the year. Yeah, and then do it before the change of the time and after the few days after the change of time, especially concentrate on this a lot now. And then this is the perfect opportunity to start this lifestyle. All right, so let's sum up or let's kind of review the protocol to align yourself with a circadian rhythm. Yeah, for sleep. Yeah, sleep for 8 hours, including 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. Now, according to Matthew Walker, who is a sleep expert, it is critical to be sleeping between 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. So even though you are sleeping for 8 hours, if you sleep from 12 midnight to 8 a.m., then you're not really optimizing the sleep. Yeah. So it is good to sleep. Yeah. From 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah, then you're including 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. So you definitely want to be sleeping during that time between 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. Right. And then sleep in a dark room. Yeah. So that means turn all the light off, even the dim light. Yeah. So turn everything off. Yeah. So sleep in complete darkness. Yeah. And then don't eat 3 hours before going to bed and 1 hour after waking up. And don't use a smartphone or computer 1 hour before bed and 1 hour after bed. Okay, sunlight exposure. Expose yourself to the morning sun within the first hour after waking up, at least for 5 to 10 minutes, and if possible, 30 to 40 minutes. Yeah. Therefore, it is good to do the morning exercise. Go outside and go jogging or go walking or go Nordic walking or do yoga or whatever you can outdoor so that you can expose yourself to the morning sunlight. And then if you do some exercise, you would be spending 30 to 40 minutes. Therefore, this is the ideal way to expose yourself to the morning sunlight. And then expose yourself to evening sunlight close to sunset if possible. And after sunset, it is better not to use electric light if possible, right? So the last one is a little difficult, but you may want to do that this weekend, maybe 1 or 2 days before the time change. And maybe, after that, well, if it's Monday begins, it may be difficult to do that. But maybe the Saturday, the night before, you can maybe use candlelight. And also, doing the sunlight exposure in the evening, like before, little close to the sunset, maybe it's difficult to do it every day because you have a work and other schedule. Easier to do the morning sun light exposure, yeah. But maybe on Saturday you can do that. The best thing is to go out to nature. Go for a walk in the forest or somewhere, and then stay until the sunset. right? So that you have a evening sunlight exposure and then spend the night with a candlelight, right? Heat and cold exposure, it is better to do deliberate cold exposure in the morning and heat exposure at night. So if you are taking cold shower, do it in the morning and then have a bath, like a hot bath, and do it at night. Or you can have a sauna at night too. So it is best to spend the final hour, like 1 hour before going to bed, yeah, and doing something analog, yeah, not digital. So having a bath or having a sauna is a perfect way of spending your final hour. Or you can, meditate, yeah, whatever, yeah. And then you can maybe, if when you meditate, you can just turn the light off and meditate, and then, gradually you can, you can start sleeping, right? And then diet and fasting. So this is like a general thing. Yeah. It is good to eat during the day and not at night. If you practice intermittent fasting, it is better to bring the feeding window during the day as much as possible. For example, if you practice 16 to 8 method, then bring your feeding window between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 12 noon to 8 p.m. Yeah. Um, or you might do shorter fasting, such as 14 hours fast. In this case, you can bring your feeding window between 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yeah, right. So I don't think you want to do anything particular about fasting this weekend. Yeah. Yeah. But this is more like for general things. Right. I mean, there may be something you can do, but I don't know much about this. So, this time I won't cover this part. Yeah. And exercise, it is best to exercise in the morning. Afternoon or evening are okay, but not before going to bed, right? So again, especially this weekend, better to do the exercise in the morning, with the morning sunlight. Yeah. So go jogging or go walking or do yoga outdoors to observe the morning sunlight. Yeah. And then, so what about coffee, right? Now, so better not to ingest caffeine 8 to 10 hours before going to bed, according to Matthew Walker. That means until 1 p.m. or 3 p.m., you can drink coffee if you're going to bed at 11 p.m. Yeah, if you finish drinking your coffee at 1 p.m., that means you have 10 hours. Yeah, and if you finish at 3 p.m., you have 8 hours before going to bed. Yeah. And also, according to Andrew Huberman, better not to ingest caffeine within 90 minutes after waking up. Yeah. So this is another reason it is good to work out in the morning because it gives you some time. Yeah. So I usually do the morning, jog or morning Nordic walking, and it takes about 45 minutes. Yeah. But before doing that, I take a cold shower, I drink a glass of water, I do some eye exercises and things. And after coming back from my, low intensity aerobic activity, I do some, Wim Hof, like breathing exercise, or I chant, Hanya Shinkyo. Hanya Shinkyo is a kind of Buddhist chanting. It's called Heart Sutra. Heart Sutra is the English name for it. And then it kind of I sort of spend 90 minutes altogether, really. So by the time I drink my first coffee, which is an organic black coffee, because I still, I'm in my fasting window, so I don't eat anything. That's like 90 minutes after waking up. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good reason to do with your coffee. And then I usually switch to matcha, by the way. So the first drink is coffee, but the second drink is matcha because matcha has less caffeine. Yeah. And both coffee and matcha are good for autophagy too. And for the alcohol, yeah. So basically, so the AI say better not to drink coffee and alcohol, just close to going to bed. But according to Matthew Walker, even if you drink alcohol like before 8 p.m., in the evening with dinner, still affect your sleep. Yeah. So if you're worried about the, effect of alcohol, then you might as well not drink it at all. Yeah. Especially for that day, for, the Saturday, the night before the 5th. Yeah, you can kind of skip your alcohol or just forget about it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's not much point. I mean, you can kind of drink, wine during the day. I mean, if it's Saturday, maybe you can do that. You can just have your wine with your lunch and then don't drink it in the evening. That may be an option too. Yeah. But I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, in fact, there's no point of becoming neurotic about it, I mean, just the most important thing is your mindset. So be happy, do whatever you feel like doing it. Yeah, good. And then, yeah, as I said, spend your day being in nature. Go to a forest and enjoy the, season. So it is critical to connect yourself with the natural rhythm. Yeah. If the rhythm is disrupted by the changing the clock, then you want to compensate it by, going to the nature and then feel the natural energy. You can even do yoga, or you can practice qigong, or just take a walk in the forest. Is fantastic. It's a great way, and feel the key energy. Yeah. Right. And then generally speaking, live according to the Circannual rhythm. Feel the season. Do seasonal thing. Eat seasonally. Exercise seasonally. Yeah. And then live with a circadian rhythm too. Yeah. Live naturally. Yeah. That is the best preparation for this change. Yeah. And then this particular time is a perfect opportunity to begin this new lifestyle. Therefore, it is a positive thing. I mean, many people might regard this as a negative thing. Oh my goodness, it is disrupting our circadian rhythm and it's not really good for our health and so on. But it is a great opportunity for you. You've got twice a year to remind yourself how important natural rhythm is. Yeah, so you can actually even celebrate the change. Yeah, it's just becoming kind of ritual to get back to this natural rhythm, right? All right. So for details about natural lifestyle, this kind of like a lifestyle, according to the circadian rhythm, according to the circannual rhythm, please read my books, the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. Okay, that's it for today. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of the Ikigai Diet and Ikigai Bio-Hacking. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comment. Yeah, how do you feel about daylight saving time? Do you have a daylight saving time in your country, and what do you do to prepare for the change? And do you usually live according to the circadian rhythm or circannual rhythm and so on? Yeah, right. Okay, and then great weekend. Yeah, no matter what you do, enjoy your weekend, right? In Japan, we have a long weekend, so my son and I might go, mountain hiking tomorrow, and we'll expose ourselves to the Dutch natural kingdom. I'm so looking forward to it. Yeah, so please have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Live with your Ikigai!